Adwa told us in the Caribbean what was possible if we bound together and created that great Pan-African movement that led to our independence as nations, that led to our understanding that the language of Marcus Messiah Garvey, delivered on the 1st of October 1937, that we must emancipate ourselves mentally. Adwa taught us that these things were possible, and we have seen what we have achieved over the course of the last century. I pray today that as we leave here, that we will see the awakening of Africa, not just in this part of Africa, but the entire continent and its diaspora, because this is evidence that when we work together, anything is possible.
Yes, when we work together, anything is possible. Speaking from the heart of Adwa in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, referring to the word of Marcus Messiah Garvey, the Prime Minister of Barbados, Her Excellency Madam Amor Mottley, representing African diaspora and Caribbean people, has congratulated Ethiopia for successful building of hydroelectric power, the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam, the big achievement that has built by Ethiopia without taking any kind of loan, without external assistance. And here is what Madam Amor Mottley she said at that inauguration ceremony. Here is
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, my dear brother, and Mrs. Ahmed, distinguished heads of state and heads of government of Africa, distinguished guests of the people of Ethiopia. If this was to achieve simply the provision of water and energy to the people of Ethiopia and surrounding countries, it would be a marvel of history, a marvel of engineering, and a boon for the prosperity of the people of this region. But if we are to be honest, it is not simply the achievement of what has been done here for the provision of water and energy and the catalytic effect that it will have on economic and social development and security, but it is the journey. Above all else, the journey. The journey of a people who have remained proud throughout history, who have attested that the origins are here, and who have defied all attempts to keep them down. When we toured the facility in the last few hours, I turned to my brother and I said, "This is the Adwa engineering feat." And I say so for those who do not know, including many from my own Caribbean community, that when the international world determined that this project was not to see the light of day, that it was not to receive the financing of companies that like to make money and therefore were usually only interested in repayments, that when that befell the people of Ethiopia, the people stood tall, and the people determined that this project was not beyond them, and that it was going to see the light of day, even if it meant that every person who could give, however small, however large, could do so, and even if it meant that it would take much longer than it would otherwise have taken to build. The people of Ethiopia stood tall and put their money where their mouth is. And $5 billion later, we have the prospect of a project that will speak not just to the prosperity and stability of the people of this country and surrounding countries, but it also speaks to what can always remain within our grips and remain possible as people of Africa and African origin. On behalf of my own country, Barbados, on behalf of the Caribbean community, on behalf of the 6th region of the Africa Union, the diaspora, I stand here today to say that you have opened our eyes and you have excited the sensibilities that we have. And we know that if ever there was a time for those sensibilities to be awoken, and if ever there was a time for us to understand our possibilities, it is now, when the world seems not to be able to find itself and to create the opportunities for ordinary people, because a few are dominating and others are determined to ensure that while some dominate, we are not going to be victims of our time, but we can be shapers of our destiny, or as we say in Barbados in our anthem, firm craftsmen of our fate. Adwa told us in the Caribbean what was possible if we bound together and created that great Pan-African movement that led to our independence as nations, that led to our understanding that the language of Marcus Messiah Garvey, delivered on the 1st of October 1937, that we must emancipate ourselves mentally. Adwa taught us that these things were possible, and we have seen what we have achieved over the course of the last century. I pray today that as we leave here, that we will see the awakening of Africa, not just in this part of Africa, but the entire continent and its diaspora, because this is evidence that when we work together, anything is possible. It is a determination that one blow at a time, one step at a time, one person at a time, we can achieve so much. I leave you, the people of Ethiopia today, confident that if we, as I said in Algeria last week, can rise to the occasion of working together, then this continent and its people and its diaspora that will be responsible for 1/4 of the world's population, that has given us a demographic dividend that no other continent is now giving us, that we know that you can rise, we can rise, and that we shall be the humanizing element that the world needs now more than ever. Let us go forward in love, in unity, one aim, one purpose, one destiny. Congratulations to the people of Ethiopia. Thank you.
Wow, this is more than a congratulation message. This is a wake-up call to Africa and their children in the continent and to those who are in the diaspora to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, to tell ourselves that if we can come together, anything is possible. We can build our own infrastructures without depending on others. Brothers and sisters, Ethiopia, under the leadership of Abiy Ahmed Ali, has succeeded to build this big or largest dam in the continent of Africa without taking any loan from Western countries or Western institutions. But it is Ethiopians who came together, mobilizing their resources, and build this largest hydroelectric dam in the continent of Africa that is going to produce more than 5,000 megawatts to supply across the region of Eastern and the Horn of Africa. Brothers and sisters, it is possible. We Africans, we lack unity. Just imagine a continent with 1.4 billion people. Let us take only one, maybe a half of the population contributing $1 every month. How much do we have? We can build our infrastructures and we can improve our lives. What I see in this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, it is not just hydroelectric power. I see agriculture through irrigation. I see fishing industries. I see jobs. This is more than hydroelectric power. This is the future. This is the heritage of the coming generation. Brothers and sisters, you heard from Prime Minister Amor of Barbados calling Africans to come together, calling Africans to unite, and telling Africans that nothing is impossible. We can do much better. We can unite. We can change this world. And this has shown the world that Africans can do better. Africans have the light future. So from Ethiopia, in the heart of Adwa, in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, Amor has encouraged and calling Africans to come together and unite. We have been saying this matter for many times, that Africa, we need to come together. We need to unite. There's no reason for we Africans to fail to sponsor our own projects. Right now, we are in the era of artificial intelligence. We have intelligent people in this continent that can build AI, can build many things. But the problem that we have, Africans, we are not working together. We lack collaboration. We lack working together. We lack unity. The time is now for we Africans to come together. Brothers and sisters, let us not speak many words, but the aim is to share this powerful message and congratulation message from Madam Prime Minister of Barbados, Her Excellency Amor, who represented our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and in the Caribbean, to congratulate the people of Ethiopia for this big achievement. This is marvel. This is shock to those who thought that this will not complete. Of course, we saw some countries, even African countries, tried to sabotage, tried to stop Ethiopia. We remember there's a quarrel between Ethiopia and Egypt. Egypt claimed that its people depends on River Nile, but we must understand these waters are just flowing. And Ethiopia will not stop the water from flowing, but what Ethiopia is doing is taking part of water. And that's why we are saying we lack collaboration, we lack working together. But Ethiopia has shown us that it is possible. And it is not only Ethiopia. We have seen in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, in Guinea, in Nigeria, in many parts of this continent, when people stood together, you see something happening. You see development. But when people divided, you see the fall. For instance, right now, we have conflict in Sudan. All of us, we have to pray for Sudan, to find the solution, what we can do as Africans to end the conflict in Sudan. People are starving, people are suffering, children do not go to school. So the time has come for we Africans to stop this nonsense conflict that are destroying our mother continent, Africa. We are celebrating in Ethiopia, but in other hand, in Sudan, people are dying. It doesn't make good sense to us. So, brothers and sisters, let us come together. Let us see each other as relatives, as brothers and sisters, so that we can move forward together. We cannot celebrate good things at the same time other things are being destroyed. Let us, all of us, preach peace, love, and unity in this continent. Because with love, we can unite. With unity, we can have peace. These three things is very important to us, the people of Africa. Love, unity, and peace. Let us preach love among ourselves. Let us preach unity. Let us work together. That's the meaning of unity. And let us bring peace, because peace peace is the foundation of everything. We cannot build this big project while we are at war. At any time, people can bomb this project and destroy everything. And those resources that we have invested there can be distracted within a short time. That's why we are saying we need peace, we need unity, we need love. So of that, let me say thank you in the spirit of Pan-Africanism from the heart of Adwa in Ethiopia. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for this big achievement, because the achievement of Ethiopia is the achievement of all Africans, because we are Africans. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.